Hi guys, it's me, Joseph Machine again, and for this video, I will be dedicated to the month of love, February in 2026. I shall be covering the next in the lineup of the Austin Powers movies. I will be covering Austin Powers 2, also known as Austin Powers, the spy who shagged me. Now, for those of you who aren't in the know, the term shagged in this instance comes from the old British term, which means snoo. But yeah, that's kind of the older term. I don't know if it's still being used today, so anyone that is in touch with the British selves, let me know if they still using the term shaggadocious, whatever the case is. And the person that's called Felicity Shagwell, played by Heather Graham, is actually I don't know, she seems like an American woman to me, which is weird because they play a song American Woman in the video in the movie, but it's kind of weird that she uses that word, whereas I don't think that she uses any specific British terms other than that one. She uses the term groovy, but that's like a thing from the 60s and 70s to describe something that's very good, or something that's like she can groove thing or something like that. So that's kind of weird the way that works out. And besides that, she said the word she said that she shagged well, that's her name, and she shagged very well by reputation. So, yeah, about that, that's kind of like saying, I have sex real well. You don't brag about that kind of thing. It should be found out by instance when you're in bed with the person, or you should you shouldn't advertise it all. It's kind of implied that you think you do that kind of thing very well. It's kind of like in the Grand Theft Auto 3 Grand Theft Auto 3, which one of the leads of the evening characters said to you that all the stuff that your Ruger won't, of course you would Spanish, so all the stuff your Ruger won't. I have no idea what a Ruger is. I would imagine that'd be like your sexual partner, man or woman, but I actually don't know what that is. So anyway, before I actually get into the movie proper, I want to talk about the DVD of this movie. Now, this is one of those kinds of cases where they do like a double TV type thing, front and back for each for the movies and whatnot. But because this is a 3-part series, hopefully they'll be making number 4 soon, within the next couple of years. They did this. They put the first and third movie on one of them double-sided CDs, like so. But then they dedicated the entire separate CD for number 2 but I have no idea why. Maybe it could have been because the first two movies had little or no special features, or maybe because the other one was just that much longer than the others that needed some type of CG. I have no idea. That's a very weird anomaly, and I think that's the only actual DVD collection in my bunch that does that. So this movie takes place right after the first one, in which Austin and his wife Vanessa, played by Elizabeth Hurley, are still on their honeymoon, and they're about to have more snoo until it realized that when Vanessa is a fembot, by Austin how was doing the rewind button, and then the special feature in which you do Spanish out of the robot. I wonder if Trump would like it or not. But anyway, they would later use that joke in the movie Click, by which Adam Sandler can control his family and it's whirled around him by using the bus remote control. So they made it into a whole movie. They milked that whole premise for a whole movie, which I'm going to talk about for Christmas because it's a Wonderful Life ripoff. But anyway, they use this one to have Austin realize that Vanessa is indeed a Dr. Evil robot. And it's quite funny because he had Vanessa go downstairs to get something from the concierge or something at the hotel. But then he rewinded back, he's rewinding some kind of set or something, or on TV or something. But it's funny that she gets rewinded to like 2 minutes ago when she's being dressed up and stuff to go out and everything. But then she it's hard to describe it. Like, she gets wrong, but then the action that she completes after that, where she grabs Austin and she threatens his life and everything, and does the finger right as she's about to blow up. It's like a whole new set of programming things, you know, the whole bunch of actions and stuff. So it could almost be like a problem that I have with some time travel movies, in which the thing goes back in time, and you think that everything will flow the same way again, but then something interrupts that action, so that the new present action of our heroes is different from the original action of the original thing that was time travel back to stop. It's kind of hard to explain, but this one kind of does it good. Anyway, it's real. She's a robot, and she has machine gun nipples, which if that's not the name of a band somewhere or a gag like group or something, I think you make that into a good group. But anyway, it's kind of weird that she said that Austin should engage in a little bit better foreplay. I mean, if you don't think that if you get married to somebody and you know about them and stuff, you should be able to pinpoint whether that person's a robot or not. could hear the mechanism in their body to let them know that this is not this is not a natural creature. So anyway, he blows up, and that's the end of the cameo by Elizabeth Hurley, who, by the way, she looks fine as fuck in this movie. And let's see here, what else is there? You see that Austin is kind of like saying like oh my blue Vanessa, I love you, as she's petting her hand, because apparently that's the only thing that's left of her. I love you and all that. And it's like, wait a tick. Now I'm single again. Yeah, baby, yeah. Yeah, now I'm single again. So if you go by that quickly, if you go back from being miserable to being happy you're single again, did you even love her in the first place? I mean, honestly, if I found out that my wife was a robot and that she was about to kill me after 5 minutes of being married, I would definitely be a little bit more pissy about that. And to be honest with you, I think I would be a little more angry too, a little bit more, why and that kind of thing. Especially for the fact that she tried to kill me, and the fact that I'm really not as good a taker of robots than I would like to be. Maybe they got the whole idea from Terminator or something about it, with the artificial humans trying to kill the real humans. But then they do that thing where they go to the hotel room, go to the hotel lobby and stuff like that, and they do they show off. You don't really show if it's private, so they do that. They show them off like hams being delivered to somebody. They do like the rabbis and the Jewish people doing that breaking bread thing that they do. They have a funny little pinwheel too, and just fun. But how you fun that is massive ego, and also for the same matter, they do that thing where they show off the hairy chest, which I know that there are some women that find a hairy chest like a big bear or to be fascinating, but I don't. I don't find a hairy chest or hairy anything to be a turn on for me. The only hair I like is hair up here on the head. That's about it. And the eyebrows too. But that's not the point. Yeah. I want to say that it's more stylish. I want to say too that and I there was a Bond character, a Bond actor that was hairy like that. I think it was Timothy Dalton that was like a bear. I don't know about the others, but I think it was him. Anyway, this movie is like a whole hodgepodge of all the references and proofs of James Bond movies. Up until this point. I know that there are a few that came after that, but whatever. So anyway, they have they find out that the evil has landed and is trying to go back in time to steal Austin's mojo. And yes, the air quote thing is kind of annoying in this movie because they use the air quotes for a bunch of stuff that they don't need to, like laser and Dead Star and the Ellen Parsons Project, which I never heard of it. And I never heard that. I never heard the death slide. But yeah. Anyway, that can be quite annoying. In that they want to send out the operative to steal Austin's mojo from the past, or he's still frozen in time. And he I'll tell it in a little bit. Because right now he's still in the prison and he needs to go back in time. So he does that by having one of his people invent like a time portal. So that's just look at a swirly thing on a plane. And the guy goes back in time with a little psychic mini-me. And let me tell you something. This guy and the other guy that played the operative, fat bastards, are really, really hilarious. They steal the whole show. Vern Troyer and that bastard played by Michael Myers, or Mike Myers again. And these two are freaking awesome. That amazing in the roles. Unfortunately, Vern Troyer passed away a few years ago. I think it was alcohol poisoning. Poor guy. He was very funny. I would love to meet the guy. But I guess I'll have to wait for a while for that to happen. Anyway, they show that he's one of Dr. Evil's side with the scar and with the everything, the bald head and everything. Which got a question, was Dr. Evil with the scar over his eye, or did that happen to something with Austin Powers? And then in that case, what would the genetics apply to that, to me too, to have the scar over the eye? Apparently he doesn't like Scott, Dr. Evil, and Mini-Me. And that's so funny. Later on, Mini-Me tried to attack Scott. And it's funny because we never actually know who Scott's real mother is until later on. But anyway, we find out that Mini-Me is part of a clone operation, much like Miss Bigglesworth. He tried to eat the cat too. This is the immigrant that Trump was saying about. The white guy who tried to eat cats. And what's even more funny is that my Uncle Darius has we believe him to be bald on top of his head, but he keeps wearing like one of those pompadour wigs to cover it up, I guess. So it's funny that he has a son named Darius Jr. that's actually shorter than he is. Also with the same hairstyle. But the thing is that the son's hair is more natural than others. And he went for, I think it was hair plugged? Something like that, but it came out much better. Like, much better. Anyway, both of them were losing their hair because of, he kept obsessing over it. He kept using a lot of hair products in the hair, like over the top. Like, I'm talking like, you know how there's a joke about women taking forever in the bathroom to get ready for a date? Yeah, well, he really did embody that. Darius used to always spend an hour for each thing to become almost late for the date or the occasion. Even to the point that my dad yelled at him when he was younger. And he still does that. In fact, one time we went to go visit him in Florida. He almost made us late to get the plane back to New York State. And we were so pissed off with him for that. We were like this close to being late to catch the plane. But in any case, Mimi is adorable. I love him. He's awesome. Got a little bit of an attitude too. Especially at the end when he's fighting with Austin. He gives the guy the finger. And you think that he would try to poke out his eyes or something, but yeah. It's really funny seeing this grown man Austin Powers being bested by this little dwarf guy that's like only like 2 foot tall, and it's so fun, so funny. But in any case, they have Dr. Evil and Mini-Me going back in time to get the mojo and wreak havoc in the past. Now, what's funny is that I remember a while ago, I think it was in Lost in Space, that this type of time machines are possible. But the only thing is that, when you build something in the time, like let's say you build something like 2030 something, okay, you cannot use that thing to go back in time, let's say 1920 or something, or 1930, or maybe 100 years, because the exit portal hadn't been built yet. So the fact that Dr. Evil can go back in time using the portal and come back and stuff, that doesn't make much sense in that regard. You know, he would have to have a time machine already built in the past to receive his information from the future. So that doesn't make sense. Besides, I think that there's a problem with his elevation, with it being, with it being on a different island and such like that. Although that might just be a technicality. I know that when Austin Powers travels back in time, he has a time machine built into a Volkswagen Beetle, a newer Beetle, which is basically a spoof on the whole DeLorean time machine from Back to the Future. But that's more consistent because that time machine is like self-generating. In other words, you don't have to have another machine in the past to recreate the speed, the thrust, whatever you need to go back in time with. You can do it wherever and whenever you want to. But in any case, there is a problem with elevation in there, because when Austin goes back in time, I'm assuming he's on ground level. It double, it's like secret organization, he's at ground level. But when he goes back in time, he goes back to the past in 1969. I don't know whether that's a pun on anything or anything. I know what it means, but I don't know if they did it on purpose. Probably yes. So anyway, they did that, but he's on the 3rd floor of his apartment, or maybe the 5th floor of his apartment in 1969. So that's really funny. Thank God he didn't hit anybody, because that probably would mean nobody would be born from my family and whatnot. So anyway, you go back in time, even though you take, if you think about it too hard, you'll cross-eyed. So Michael Rourke plays That's like the physician said, don't try to think of that. Don't try to think of that. Just sit back and enjoy the movie. And that goes to you guys too in the audience. A very, very funny type of fourth wall break. So anyway, they show that Austin back in the 60s and late 60s, where everything was groovy, love and all the fun shit. You know, like my father was. And it showed that that's not whatchamacallit, that Austin is greeted by Heather Graham, that plays Felicity Shagwell, as well as Robin Spitz. And no, her name is Swallows, and then her main name was Spitz. I have no idea where that comes from, but yeah. I know that she's a bad girl. I'm not gonna say anything else for that because I wanted this video to go up on YouTube with no problems whatsoever. So anyway, they show a little bit of a cameo character from the other movie, from Goldmember. Fuck you. And for those who don't know who that is, she's a Japanese twin in the movie. Yes, I love it. But anyway, she plays the same woman that plays Fuck You in the movie. It was either Fuck You or Fuck Me. I think it was Fuck Me. Fuck Me. So anyway, it's Kirian Alaba from Dancing with the Stars, and her other sister, which plays one of Shagwell's bodyguards, backup dancers. Anyway, it's real funny that I said to myself, nah, it can't be her, and sure enough, it is her. If you just stop the video, the movie, you'll be able to see that as clear as day is her. So anyway, they show her doing dancing, and check out talking about the girl, the evil, the Spitzer Swallow. Now, what's really funny is that later on in the movie, the backup dancers come back, but at this time, Austin Powers is somewhere in the 2000s, in the current timeline. So that's actually kind of funny, and I can explain that in one way, because Kirian Alaba is Japanese, or part Japanese, one of the two. Anyway, she's part Japanese. So, they don't age. The Asian women don't age until they hit like maybe 60 or 70. So, yay for that. Anyway, that can be explained that. But, the other characters that are like, age paradoxes include Fabrice, which is the bad guy by Dr. Evil, and Burt Baccarat, which was in the first movie, but like a kind of old man. In this one, in the 60s, he's still showing as old man, which is really kind of odd actually. You see, he's a teenage in 2000 whatever, and you still look like that when you're in the 60s. I don't get how they could easily got a guy that looked like Burt Bacharach when he was younger, and they could have played that and play that, or whatever. So anyway, they have remember I said that they didn't show how they didn't show Scott Evil's biological mother. Well, it turns out that it was Frau Probationer. And it was really funny that she introduced her girlfriend, I think her named Monobrow, back in the beginning of the movie. So this implies she's gay, right? You know, Frau Probationer was gay. So when they go back in time, after Cat Bastard steals Austin's mojo juice from his still frozen corpse, not corpse, but frozen body, he ends up Dr. Evil and drinking it. Like it was kind of protein shake. I mean, quite literally a protein shake. And yeah, then he gets on with Frau Probationer, even though she looks the same as she did way back when in 2000 something. Which I find odd because, you know, she clearly has a very distinctive voice and a very distinctive appearance, and Dr. Evil had no attraction to her, you know, to begin with. Anyway, that kind of frightened of her voice. But because of Austin's mojo juice, he instantly fell in love with her. Kind of like when you have beer ball goggles on, you think that any woman is attractive. Kind of like Quagmire, Family Guy. But anyway, hey, I wonder when she's in the mood, she does that screaming voice whenever she is never mind. So anyway, it's real funny that the good doctor is really into her, obviously, because of the juice and stuff. But what about Frau? Now, Frau doesn't look like she gets any more, she doesn't drink any mojo juice or whatever. And that's kind of odd. It's kind of like he forces himself on her. Or whatever, I guess she likes that. So, anyway, they end up getting on, and then she ends up becoming pregnant with Scott. And she's like, I'm late, doctor. No, you're on time. You're on time, Frau. And he said, no, I'm late. And he's like, oh, okay. Giggity, giggity, giggity. Anyway, they do that. And the way that Austin Powers realizes that he lost his mojo is because his little buddy down there shrinks when he's gonna have relations with Rana Humpaloff, which sounds like one of Donald Trump's ex-wives, but she's actually a play on people that are Bond girls with sexually provocative names like Octopussy and Pussy Galore and everything else. But I could swear that she was played by Chris Yelly, but she's really played by Chrissy Johnson, the one that played Wilma Thompson in that Flintstone live action movie. And it's very funny that they do like a chess game between him and her. And he had play sex with the pieces like that. For example, when she rubbed the little basic pieces like movies and nibbles. Which to be honest with you, I never thought that chess could be sexy at all. But apparently they did, so they did the movie. But anyway, this raises a good question, you know. If Austin couldn't get up for Miss Humpalove, like something from that movie, the Winnie the Pooh movie, Humpaloves, Woozles, very confusing. Anyway, if he couldn't perform right for her, then how was it possible that he would perform for Vanessa? You know, from the first movie. If Fat Bastard got rid of the mojo and drained it before he was thought out. He never addressed this question. And only wrong when the vial of juice is smashed on the floor, it's revealed that Austin always had the power all along. Kind of like that trope about all that, you know, you're a good person, you're a star muffin in real life, but you just know that you're getting all that other jazz. So, yeah, they do that. So, if you was able to regenerate all that mojo juice, you know, or pasta, whatever you want to call it, well, wasn't he able to regenerate it for when Felicity did it, and when he was gonna take on Miss Ivana? I know that all women are attractive, but I would prefer Miss Rebecca Romaine Seamus in there, whether it be Chrissy Johnson or Rebecca Romaine. I prefer Romaine on my sides. So anyway, back in the past, they show that let's see, where right now, yeah, they show a nice little thing with the Jaguar, and you have a Corvette. So it's all Shagwell, and you have it being chased by number 2, played by Will Ferrell. And yes, they do that. The thing where they do that, the arm, my arm, my leg, my this and that, before he finally dies off a cliff. And yeah, they do that. And they also show that Scott ends up going back in time with to follow Daddy and try to take over the world with him. And it's really funny that they do, like, they mention Jerry Springer. Now, I know that Jerry Springer was a legend and TV worked and everything with the KKK people and the Nazis and all that. But I have to ask this question. For those of you who actually watch all that weirdly in the Nazi crap and the KKK garbage, I have to ask you, was that real, or were they just actors playing the KKK and etc. people? I think it's all staged for views and ratings. In any case, they show him. They show Scott going back in time and then telling him all the problems and he should just shoot Austin Powers right there and there. Rather than doing the same trope as leaving them alone and die and stuff like that. And shooting up guards and all that. Like in the James Bond movies. So anyway, let's see, and Austin go to the play Dr. Evil's secret volcano lair to stop his plot to take over the world. And they do a parody of when James Bond went on the beach with Octopussy in the bikini scene, and it's real funny. What's even more funny is that when you do the shadow, shadow against the tent, and you see all the Dr. Evil henchmen over there watching everything you coming out of the bum and everything. A smoke bomb, a hamster, and other stuff too. And then when they freeze, they hold their hands, and then they do three little balls come out of his ass. I don't think I need to tell you what everyone thought that was. So anyway, they show up. Also, another thing too, I don't actually know who Mini-Me is supposed to be from James Bond. I thought he was supposed to be the guy from the Golden Gun movie. Luke guy played by Tattoo from Fantasy Island. But I don't know. And I'm pretty sure he wasn't calling anybody. That was just kind of funny. And also the fact that the spaceship that goes to the moon from the island looks an awful lot like a big smooth rod with two balls on the side of it. Much like Elon Musk rockets. And that's actually real funny. Also, it was also pretty good in this movie, the fact that all the soundtrack stuff in here is Madonna, American Woman, good music too, so that's something too, that's good. What's not good is that they show Fat Bastard with Miss Shagged, and even though he weighs a metric ton, like 1.1 tons, he also gives off a very good Trumpian vibe. And if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Especially when Miss Shagwell pinches his butt. I can't think of that's what Melania has to look at every single day that she's with the dog. And I keep thinking to myself, I feel so sorry for that poor woman. But then again, that's what she's trying up for when she said I do. So, is it worth it? Is it worth all your haunting visions? And your geostealing fingers? I'm sure at this point, Donald Trump probably has cheese whiz running through his veins at this point. Not blood. not even water. Just his physical core. And anyway, that's how they track that bastard to try to give Leia on the island. And back when I didn't curse, it was hard for me to actually put into words this guy's name because his name is that bastard curse word. So like that guy over there. May I just say that he sounds a lot more like Jack. A lot more like I think Michael Myers, I believe, is Scottish, I believe. I'm not sure about that, but he's much more like Shrek than anything else in this movie. Playing that guy. Although need a movie, so they'll have him as the other guy out. Goldmember himself, a Dutch boy. So in any case, they have it where Austin has the chance to sleep with Felicity Shagwell because she's rubbing up on him real hard. And back when he was being warned about Robin Swallows, he did think that was in Goldman, that was in Octopussy, the movie in which they shown the reflection of the killer in Belly Dancer's eyes. So when I asked somebody about this, he said you can't really see the reflection of people's eyes. You didn't really see an object in the reflection of somebody's eyes unless you were so close to that person, within kissing distance. And in that case, more likely you would block your own view of the reflection. So that's physically impossible. And then do the thing where she don't die, she don't take damage and all that. But anyway, I like this moment in which he could easily sleep with Felicity. And she said that he said, I want to, because I'm still attached to Vanessa. Which is actually a really sweet move. In any case, Dr. Evil ends up going to the moon with Scott and with Mini-Me and with the others too. And may I just say that I like the way Rob Lowe as young number 2 said was Mojo. Instead of Mojo, he said Mojo. Or two separate words like Mo and Joe. So anyway, no number 2 because I guess I run the business of Starbucks. A very cheap brand of coffee made from the movie. Not so cheap anymore, but still. We got somebody to blame. I don't know who we got to blame that. Maybe it was Spock. Anyway, they offer up they told the President of the United States that, which I think is the guy from Shawshank Redemption. Anyway, he wants $100 billion of what the entire world will bow at him. Dr. is gonna have a space laser from a Death Star destroy one major city after New York, after Washington, every hour on the hour. So, he queues up the DVD footage of Independence Day. It said that was from the movie Independence Day, but really to be Washington D.C. would be a lot like that. It's funny that the people on the ground level actually think that the Zionists are attacking the Capitol building, and so they dug out of the way. That little tidbit kind of reminded me of when the first movie was actually made and shot in theaters, in which they had a train coming down into the station, and the people in the theater thought that there was really a train coming toward them, but it wasn't. And they were over there ducking and getting out of the way of this train that was barreling toward them and stuff. Well, but I have to point out that even though in 1969 they knew what movies were back then, but they didn't have DVD quality stuff yet, or Blu-ray. And I forgot whether Dr. Evil actually sent the DVD, but it's very clear to be a DVD because number one, if you were actually showing a DVD, there'd be high quality they'd seen the movie. And number two, if you were watching on a VHS tape, they could have that weird lines going across the screen. So there was that. So it was very clearly a DVD. Even though I'm sure that back then they didn't have the technology for DVDs or anything for that matter on digital. So anyway, you do that, you get to spend some money. And I have a good feeling that this is something that Trump would do. And when I asked somebody about the whole moon base thing, they said that there was a James Bond movie where they did have a giant moon base, and that diamonds are forever. Anyway, they had that, and they had the fact that that us powers end up going to the moon base. I don't know how, but I think it may have been the same way that Sonic the Hedgehog did in Sonic Adventure 2. So anyway, they went to the moon with Felicity after they make up, and then they end up doing in the car, and she ends up taking off her top and getting in that car to go into lava. So he ends up getting alive. They end up escaping to the moon base, where Austin fights Mini-Me and gets totally trapped, like I said before. And then they end up going to the Mini-Me gets flushed down the space toilet and it's just in space. I'm pretty sure that Mini-Me would be dead. But you know, movie's got a movie and you gotta survive and all that. So they give him a little flu shot. So anyway, and they say that Dr. Evil has to be stopped, so he goes to confront Dr. Evil before they can shoot the laser and all that. And Austin ends up kicking Travel Bristner and making her miss the target. Meanwhile, Felicity, who has been caught and captured, is gassed to death. And it's real kind of weird because now that we know that trial with Scott's mother, he's beating up on a pregnant woman. So anyway, they miss, and then they say, you need to save me or save the world. So anyway, he ends up being way in the spacecraft, which looks like a big penis-shaped thing, the rocket ship. And then he said, "Wait a second, I got a time machine, I can go back in time." So he go back in time, the sort of thing, and over there talking to himself from 10 minutes ago, and he said, "Austin, from 10 minutes from now, you go, I'll go get Dr. Evil. I'll stop the laser." So again, the woman gets beat up, who's pregnant again, and meanwhile, Dr. Evil chucks his mojo juice on the ground. Meanwhile, Austin Powers' future Austin Powers is over there trying to pick it up and trying to look it up. Meanwhile, I would think that the past Austin would care about the mojo juice the same as the other guy, but because it's spelled, he doesn't care that much about it. So he goes into, he uses the time machine to get out, go to the future, back to the future, and Austin saves the girl, and the girl says that he's always had the mojo to perform in bed. So she said, quit crying over spilled mojo juice, and not up and come with me, because I've always loved you. So I don't know where this came from. I mean, we think that when he was thought out, she would still be there for him. But whatever the case. So then they go over to the future, in which Dr. Evil is stopped, and then come back to the future, but doing it the hard way, the long way, by being frozen in time, and then having little mini come with giving him a flu shot and stuff, capturing him again, giving him a flu shot. And Scott's over there in the past still, and then said, "Take over." Dr. Evil's spot. Yeah, that way he went back into the future when he did in that next movie too. So then they have Felicity in bed with Austin Powers, with two of them actually, where then that bastard comes through the doorway like a queer man, and then he said that and then he said I was hot and sexy. You were crap. Even though it was 30 years ago at this point, 40 years ago at this point. So I'm fat because I'm hungry, because I'm sad. I'm sad because I eat a lot and get fat. It's an endless cycle, and then he farts. So Felicity kicks him in the nuts for calling crap in bed. But I wouldn't think that woman would find that offensive, like by her being called crappy in bed. We must put a lot of emphasis on that, on this whole sexual thing in bed and stuff like that. So anyway, they have we bring in all the dancers from the past, include Carolina Albert, and they all look young, and they all have fun, and everything. The song's super soft. So that's very funny. But then, like, I'm gonna get you Austin Powers and your little girl too, and all that stuff. So anyway, I love this movie because it shows that like all the bad guys are defeated. Mini and Fat Matt's a funny addition to the cast, and even Austin makes a few jokes on his height. I think there's like a dog or a child or something, and it's really funny. And there's even a few jokes that he done by Fat Bastard, in which Fat Bastard says, "He looks like a baby. You get in my bed." And all that. It's really funny. It's really funny and dope and all that. To where I see at a time too, that whenever I see kitten on screen, I always say, "Get my belly. I want my big back ribs." And it's just so funny. This movie could possibly be even funnier than the first one. I love it. And I love all the Back to the Future and time travel and 007 references in the movie. They don't mention the Irish assassin from the first movie though. And they don't mention what happened to Unibrow either. They don't mention what happened to if in the past if Will Ferrell's character, if he dies, and who carries on his stuff in the present timeline for his character. Anyway, this whole movie is funny. It's funny, it's great. And I love Austin Powers. I would love to meet Mike Myers one day for this. Anyway, so I thank you for watching this movie, this review of the Spiral Shagged. And yeah, I like Fat Bastard and how he died in the movie. I like the way. And I just thought of Fat Bastard dressed like a UPS guy. And when the tackling was, "What can Brown do for you?" So Brown is shit. So he took a giant shit in the movie. He even loved the floater. So anyway, this movie was like pretty good and felt a little bit like that. And to Austin the better one. Although I think it would make for a very interesting kind of paradox to have two of the same guy at once banging the same woman. So yeah, I did this for the month of love, February in 2026. I give the movie a definite replace seal of approval because of all the little additions they made all the continuity tape together. And the fact that they always take that, all the little problems with it and paradox and potential issues with the movie. And that's just screwy by my standards. So yeah, if you like what you see here, you want to see more of my videos, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And also, contact me for future information, my future videos by calling or texting me at 631-707-3707. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter or X, if you prefer at Pete Nelson Pro. Also, my email is jjviewchannel@gmail.com. So, as to all you Austin Powers fans, all you 007 fans out there, and all the, you guys like parodies and comedies, you're in good company on my watch. And the other thing is, what was I gonna say, yeah, I just like all the jokes so they can make it this movie. And let's see what that's it. So, peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video. All you girls and guys in Finland. Sayonara, goodbye, and have fun.